Everyone, and welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name's Amanda, and in today's video we are going to be doing a build gel set of nails using the Easy Build Up in Crystal Clear, and we're also going to be experimenting with some blooming gel nail art to create a kind of sea wave vibe. So I really hope you all enjoy watching today's video. To start off with, I have already done my prep and my tip application. If you want to see how I do this, I will leave some videos linked in the description box below. We're jumping straight into applying our base coat, and I am using one of my original OG kind of products. The clear rubber base has been my absolute favorite base coat ever since the first time I tried it, but a lot of the time lately I've been using the colored rubber bases. So I thought today we would start off with doing a crystal clear application. So I'm going to take the clear rubber base coat. Now you can see I kind of like scrub and work this into the natural nail plate, and then if I've got tips on, I do like to take it down over those tips as well, so we've got a nice uniform surface to apply our Easy Build Up gel. Now, the reason the clear rubber base was one of my absolute favorite products, because when I first discovered it, it was one of the first products that really made my nails last with no lifting, as well as strengthening them at the same time, because I'd always suffered with weak nails. So I highly recommend it if you or your clients have any weak or brittle nails. It's a really beautiful product to work with. Now we're going to come over the top with the crystal clear Easy Build Up gel. So I'm starting off by applying a thin slip layer, and I'm going to apply this to the entire nail, making sure to get a really nice neat cuticle application. With your slip layer, you want to focus on getting up close to that cuticle, but making sure you don't get any product on the skin or the cuticles, because your build gel layer will follow where you've placed down your slip layer, and the slip layer works as a guide for where you want your builder layer to go. Then once I've got that down, I'm coming in with my builder layer and just floating this on from side to side, working quite slowly just to take it down the nail and making sure that we're building up all the strength and structure. Then I like to come in with a little bit more down the spine of the nail, and then we're going to pop this in to cure for 60 seconds. I am actually going to do these nails in 2 layers because because of the length mainly, I wanted to make sure I was building up enough strength and structure. So we're going to move on and do exact same again. So applying a really thin slip layer. You do leave your slip layer wet, so you don't pop this in to cure. Then you're going to come in with a ball of gel. I like to get it so it's just on the bottom part of my bottle brush. I kind of nudge it into place at that cuticle area and then wipe it from side to side, walking down the nail. Doing it this way leaves a lot of that product in the back third of the nail where you want to build up your apex. Now, I did touch my skin ever so slightly here, so I'm going to clean that off with my angled nail art brush and a little bit of alcohol. I like to hold my hand upside down just to help gravity do its thing and pull the product into the center spine of the nail. We popped that into cure for 60 seconds, and I repeated those steps on the remaining nails. So that's our first layer done, and because of the length, I want to come in and do a second layer just to make sure these are built up nicely, because they are more on the medium to long side. So again, we're coming over the top of our first layer with our slip layer. So I'm applying this exactly the same as what I did previously. And again, wiping up around the cuticles and sidewalls just to make sure that we've got no product touching the skin. Now, where the weather has been super hot here in the UK, the day I did this set, it was currently like 28, 29 when I was doing this set of nails. This does affect the consistency of your gel products. When it's hotter, they will feel a little bit more runny, and when it's colder, they will feel a little bit more on the thicker side. But naturally, the Kiki London Easy Build Up gel has a medium viscosity to the gel, so it's really easy in my opinion to work with. But today it was a little bit more on the runny side because of how hot it was. You'll find that no matter what product you're working with, the heat will have implications. For example, with acrylic, it sets a lot quicker in the heat, so do bear that in mind. It is a little bit of a struggle to work in the hotter weather. So again, we're going to come in and do exact same on this now, starting off with that wet slip layer, applying this to the entire nail, nice and thin. You don't want your slip layer to be be too thick. Then we're going to come in and with our builder ball, wriggling it up into that cuticle area. I don't like to have a too bulky cuticle, so that's why I just push it up, and then I'm walking that ball of gel down towards the tip of the nail, just taking it from side to side nice and slowly so that we don't put loads of bubbles in the product. And then what I'm doing here is I noticed I hadn't got enough product at the side of the nail, so I'm just taking a little bit more gel and working that in, and then I will come in again and fix up the spine of the nail here where I want a little bit more of an apex. We're then going to hold that upside down. It's going to help pull it into the center before popping it in to cure for 60 seconds. Once again, I did the same on the remaining nails off camera. I didn't want to show you guys doing all of the nails because I didn't want the video to be super repetitive. Now, the Kiki London Easy Build Up Gel does have quite a tacky inhibition layer, so if you're going to file or buff, you need to wipe this off. If you're coming straight in with gel polish, then you don't. But because I want to buff the surface, I'm going to take an alcohol wipe and wipe off that tacky inhibition layer, giving it a good cleanse. Then I'm going to start off by taking my 180 grit side of my file, and I'm just crisping up the shape here. I was really happy with how smooth and even my application was, so I'm not going to file the surface of the nails. Sometimes I will file the surface of the nails with the 180 grit file if I feel as though my application's a little bit uneven. But the more I've worked with the Easy Build Up Gel, the more you get the hang of it, the more you end up creating nails that need minimal filing or minimal additional work to them. So like I said, you can come straight in with your gel polish if you don't want to do any filing or buffing. I wanted to try and crisp up my shape a little bit, so that's what I wanted to do with the filing. Then I'm going to take the 180 grit buffer and just buff over the surface of the nails. I'm mainly doing this to get a nice tight cuticle area, so making sure that there's not a bump or a ridge where that product is around the cuticle, and also coming down the side walls as well, where the product was a little bit more runny due to how hot it was. The side walls can feel a little bit not bulky but round, if that makes sense, and I like to have a nice crisp sharp shape, especially when you're going to come over the top with gel polish, because that can add a little bit of bulk to the shape as well. So I'm just coming in with my buffer and then back in here and there with my file if I felt as though I wanted to perfect that shape a little bit more. Where I had applied the tips, I did shape the tips, so I'd kind of already got a lot of my shaping done on the tips, which does make it a little bit easier when it comes to doing your finish filing and buffing. But I like to buff over them just to make sure I have got a super even, super smooth finish to the set. And I really loved how the crystal clear looked. It's such a beautiful product to work with. I don't actually think I've used it a lot to build with because a lot of the time I use it for encapsulating, but it was really beautiful to build an entire set with. It was super easy, so I highly would recommend checking it out. It does have a slightly thinner consistency, I find, anyway, to the coloured ones, but they're all very easy to work with due to that medium viscosity that they have. Now let's jump in to the nail art. So I'm going to show you guys the colours I'm using. They're all blues. So we've got Baby Boy, Holiday Blues, Neon Prince, Electric Island, and Navy Baby. I actually wear these two the other way around in the gradient that we're going to do on the nails. But we're starting off with Baby Boy, which is a really pretty light sheer, on the sheer side, baby blue shade. I really love this color. It's a really nice soft pastel blue. It's kind of like very close to being a white blue, if that makes sense. So when I do my thumbnails, I like to cure these separately just so I'm making sure that they're curing evenly, and it helps to stop smudge them when you're working on yourself. Then we're going to jump in and do the rest of the nails. So we're coming in to start with Holiday Blues. Now the reason I decided to use 5 different blues was because this design was a bit of an experiment. I really wanted to do some beachy ocean kind of wave inspired nails, you know, like with the sea effect, and I wasn't 100% sure what blue I wanted to go with. So I decided if I use a bunch of different blues, I can show you guys which one I thought looked the best. And spoiler alert, I actually think it was Holiday Blues. I think just for a summer vibe. It kind of gave off a pool look as well as a sea blue look, especially when you come in and see the blooming gel nail art that we do over the top. But it was fun to do the same design with all the different blues and create like a gradient effect across the nails. But if I was to wear this as a set just on myself, I think I would do it all with either holiday blues or neon prints, which was the color we just did on the middle finger. So moving on, we're applying a navy baby to the ring finger. Now I personally, because I work on my own nails a lot, I've kind of got used to applying gel polish to my own nails. But if you're working on different nail beds or smaller nail beds, you can come in with your detail brush to get a nice neat cuticle line. Another way that I like to do it is how I'm doing it here, which is kind of where I'll have my angled nail art brush to hand with a little bit of alcohol on, and I can use that to clean up around the cuticle area if I do accidentally touch. But ideally, the preferred way to do it would be to have your detail brush to hand, get up nice and close to the cuticles with your detail brush, and then come in with your bottle brush, or vice versa, whichever you prefer. But the detail brush has a really small tip to it, so it's great for getting around those cuticle areas. So there we had applied the first coat of all 5 of those colours. So we're going to come in and apply the second coat. Now when you come in and apply the second coat of Baby Boy especially, it loses a lot of that sheerness that the first coat has and looks a lot more of an opaque soft blue shade. It's really, really pretty. So we're coming in, applying that second coat of colour. When I apply my second coat of colour, I kind of like to just float it over. I don't want to put too many brush strokes in, but also you want to make sure that you've got not too much product on your brush because you don't want to be applying it too thickly. And then, like I said, I always like to cure my thumbs separately. It's not actually necessarily in the Kiki London lamp because it's quite a large lamp. You are easily able to cure 5 nails at the same time. However, when you're working on yourself, it's very easy to smudge your thumbnail. So I've always been in the habit of curing my thumbnail separately. So here we're going to apply those second coats of colour, and how gorgeous do these 2 bright blues look for summer. Holiday blues especially is a beautiful shade for summer, but then neon prints is very bright as well. So we're going to come in and apply that second coat of Navy Baby. This isn't actually a colour I would reach for much during the summer, but I added it in for the gradient look. Electric Island, on the other hand, though, is a beautiful colour for summer. If you use it in one coat, you can see it's got quite a jelly look to it, and it does keep this look on the second coat, but it just has a bit more pigmentation to it. But it's one of those more jelly style colours, which I think is really fun for a summer set of nails. I definitely feel like I need to kind of do some design with a full set of Electric Island, as I didn't own this colour last summer, and it is a really pretty summer blue. So here's what the nails will look like once we've got that second coat applied. We're now going to come in and do our wave effect nail art. So I'm going to come in with the Kiki London Blooming Gel and apply a thin coat of this to all of the nails. Now I'm really loving the blooming gel, but I kind of have got stuck in my comfort zone of predominantly using it to do marbles. So I really wanted to experiment and see if I could create this wavy look using the blooming gel. So we're going to apply a thin coat of this to all of the nails, and you leave your blooming gel wet and apply your nail art into that uncured wet blooming gel. So for the white, I'm going to be using a French white, and all I'm simply going to do is dot this on all over the nails. And I'm doing it with the bottle brush because I kind of wanted to make sure that I got different size dots. So the more gel you have on the brush, the larger dot you're going to get. And then also if you apply a little less pressure, you're going to get a smaller dot. So I'm literally, this is a super easy design to do, but I quite liked the end result. And like I said, it was a bit of an experiment. I've not done anything like this before. Now the fun bit is you just let it do its thing, you let it bloom. So I'm going to leave it for a couple of seconds. Here I was just cleaning up around the cuticle areas where I had been a little bit messy. Application wise, it was a little bit messy when it comes to nail art because I was struggling in this heat. Then once you have let it bloom and you're happy of how much it's bloomed, you're going to pop that into cure for 30 seconds, and that's going to freeze the design in place. I thought this looked really fun, but I don't feel as though it worked too well on the lighter blue nail, just because the white and the light baby boy blue shade was a little bit too close. So on all the other nails, I really loved the effect. But like I said, my favorite was over the holiday blues and the neon prints. And then I wanted to add a little bit of sparkle in, because a lot of the time when you see the sea, you've got the sun hitting it and it gives off that glistening effect. So I'm going to take blue Lagoon and my striped liner brush and just run this through here and there on the nails. I was trying to come across, and so where we've got the lines from the blooming gel effect, I was trying to follow them in certain places, but I'm mainly just popping this down here and there. It's a glitter. Whenever you add glitter in, it always looks pretty. It really helped on the thumbnail to add a bit more depth to the nail, because the French white, was so close in colour to the baby boy, because the baby boy is quite a light shade. It didn't show up the effect as much, but adding in that little bit of glitter helped made it pop. So we're going to pop that in and secure for 30 seconds, and this is the finished result. All that's left to do is to come in and top coat. So I am working with the No White rubber top coat today. One, because I'm working on my own nails and I love the extra strength that the rubber top coat offers. In conjunction with the rubber base coat, it really helps strengthen any weak or brittle nails, especially when you're adding length with the easy build up gel as well. I feel like it gives off a really hardy finish, and all three of those products combined give you a super strong set of nails, which I love the feel of when I've got a long set of nails on, because I'm used to having acrylics if I'm wearing long nails. Lastly, of course, I'm going to come in and apply my Sweet Peat cuticle oil to nourish and replenish those cuticles, because my cuticles are always in need of this, especially when I've been working on my own nails a lot, because then you end up doing lots of removals. And I also want to take a moment to mention that the new Kiki London Hema Free range launches tomorrow. So keep an eye out on the channel for that video in case you missed the announcement over on Instagram. It's something that's really, really exciting, and I know it's something that lots of you guys have been requesting. So I hope you all enjoy that video too. If you did enjoy today's video though, please do give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment below. Let me know what you thought of this design and if it's something you would wear yourself. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Take care, lots of love. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye bye.